All right. Good evening and welcome back to Sensation. Back for a Thursday night live stream right here. A little bit later than I wanted to get started, but after dinner and having to go to the store and stuff like that, then sometimes it takes a little bit. I'm not frozen on the screen. That is a video that I recorded earlier for the channel. And I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of some of this stuff tonight. So this is going to be probably one of the best ones you can tune into for that. Not to mention that it lets me kind of catch up on what's going on around here and, different things like that. Things like that. I don't know if it's things like that or not, but just different things. I am going to try to get my camera set up, but I don't know where the hell it's at. So maybe I could pretend like I do when I probably really don't. And then I'm going to use all my USB slots up, and I'm not going to have anything for any of that either. Oh, there's my camera. I knew I had one. I have a new tripod too. Of course, you guys probably seen it in one of my videos, or maybe we ain't got that far in advance on videos yet. And I think I want to talk to you about the Goodwill stuff and the trip up there and things like that. Things like that. No, I'm not going to do that no more. All right, so we got that out of there. Let me get my tripod out of the bag. Get my light turned on. Get me tripod. I got a nice tripod. Picked it up at the local Goodwill store, actually. So that was pretty cool. Oh. Got the bag open. I don't have no green screen up or nothing tonight, so I might turn the camera a different way. I did make sure I got a camera with a nice hand crank on it, though, so I did do that. Makes things a little bit easier. Yeah, maybe not. Probably just making all of it up, to be honest with you. Oh, can't have the USB plugged in until you screw the camera down onto the tripod. All right. So we get a camera going in a minute. Get my light on. I don't guess we got anyone tuned in yet anyway. All right, we'll just switch scenes. Now we got the live camera working. Well, hello there, and welcome back to Sensation. That dude on the other screen is the same dude that's sitting here. Let me flip back and forth on the screen. See? There I am there in the still pose, and here I am right here in the live, what we're doing. What is Sensation up to? Well, editing video. Editing video, working on stuff, getting scammed last night. That was a good one. I did get scammed, so I know you guys always like it when that happens, right? So we did do that. I've been, I don't know, maybe to Tallahassee and back in the past couple of weeks, and maybe I got some stuff, maybe I didn't. Allegedly, I might have got some parts at a Goodwill store up there, or I don't know. I mean, a lot of stuff's going on here at Sensation. And it's part of the Thursday night live stream. A little late getting it going tonight. We'll wait till we get a few people in here before we really get things cooking. No fake advertisement here. So I am messing around literally, and you're going to get a sneak peek into some of the upcoming content and videos. I was sitting here editing video, and I thought, it'd be no better time really than to give you guys a sneak peek and kind of give you a look at what's behind the scenes at SimSation. I think a lot of you have recognized it. It's just a big mess most of the time, but there's actually, when the wheels are turning, there's something up there, right? So we'll let a few people get tuned in, because I'm not going to show upcoming content for nothing, basically. We're going to do it for something here. I feel like I'm talking to myself, but we'll let the live chat get going. Somebody tune in, get the live chat going. I don't have the nostalgic computer you just seen the video on hooked up. I did switch back to the editing rig. So that's what's hooked up now. But behind me is the nostalgic computer. And I have reran the cables to the capture card. And we can see if we can get that one tuned into the capture card real quick. Let me see where my HDMI cables are at. And I'll go ahead and run those over there and hook them up. And we will see if we can get that tied into the capture card here. Because that would be kind of cool, right? It'd be kind of cool for you guys to get a live shot at that. We might run a few tests on it. It does have Windows 10 on it now. I went ahead and took Windows 11 or a Windows 7 off of it and put Windows 10 on it. So let me unplug the display port, and we'll plug the HDMI in. And I don't know if it's going to display over there, but why not give it a try anyway? This is on, so we'll hit the power button. I'll turn the light on over here too, so when we turn the camera around, you'll be able to see it. And I'll be able to see the live chat when I grab my phone. I don't have a hold of it yet. So I just want to see if we get a screen and it lights up. I haven't tested it on the capture card yet, but I do have the capture card hooked back up, so that's a good thing. Let me find it. That's one of the reasons why I'm not live streaming from the nostalgic rig tonight, is because of the capture card software. So let me hit capture and see. Look at that, it's working. So you are looking at the desktop for the nostalgic PC that the video just dropped on Tuesday night. And that video's been doing pretty good, actually. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching that one. I think that was a really good one. I really like that computer, and I used it as a daily driver with Windows 7 for a little while. Let me pull up let me move my YouTube over so I can see the chat. If I can get that to minimize. There we go. I'll just drag my YouTube over here. So that way, if you guys live chat, I can see it. But the desktop that you are looking at there is definitely that's definitely the nostalgic rig from Tuesday night's video. So I'm not making any of that up. That's exactly what that is. And we can run some live testing on that. You can see there's iRacing on it, because maybe I did test it on iRacing. Maybe I didn't. Definitely I did, though. Definitely I did play around with that on iRacing. That's just a stock background. I didn't put no desktop or nothing on that. You can see Snappy Driver Installer. One of the issues that I am having with it is I put a Wi-Fi adapter in it, and I ended up having to use Snappy to get the Wi-Fi drivers for it. And for some reason now, it's not even showing up. So the Wi-Fi driver's not even showing up no more. And I'm going to walk over there, but I don't get it. I honestly don't get that. So let's get you guys turned around. And I can make the tripod as tall as me, which is kind of cool. You'll be able to see that in a minute. I'm just extending the legs on it now, so if things look weird for a second, then that's why. Because we can actually see up over the computers now, which is nice, because before from the floor we couldn't see that, right? So things are definitely changing. Hopefully for the better. I cleaned up a lot of the boxes, but I still have computers. I just got to figure out an organization system for them and the parts, right? I do have some motherboards that need tested tonight. I have a graphics card and some memory that need tested as well. And it's because I may or may not have been scammed. No, let's rephrase that. It's because I definitely was scammed. That's it. Not may or may not have been. I definitely was scammed. And I can talk to you guys a little bit about that too. I'm going to wait for the chat to get going though. And I'm going to head back there where I moved the camera at. And I'm going to try not to turn my whole stream off here. What a beautiful background there, huh? That's kind of nice. It's dark where I'm at. I don't know what it's like where you're at, but it's definitely dark where I am. All right. I'm not dead. I just knocked the CPU cooler down. So not dead yet. All right, now you can see me. I am back here at the big beast right here, the nostalgic beast. Man, I'm going to tell you guys, I love this thing. I'm not even kidding you. Let's get something cooking on it, though. Let's roll Specky up, take a look at the temperatures on the thing. We'll load it up real quick. You'll see that in the top right-hand corner of your screen. We are cooking the CPU at about 25 degrees Celsius at idle. The motherboard 34 degrees Celsius, and we got that GTX 1070 rocking at 36 degrees Celsius right now. So what do you say we heat it up a little bit and fire up a bench test? So the nice part is we have NovaBench, one of my favorite for balancing a system, right? I don't know if you guys use this or not, but a lot of builders do because we like to see where it ranks versus everybody on NovaBench. I mean, that's why you want to do it. A lot of people use it. A lot of builders use it. So this kind of lets you measure your system up to what other people are building and testing on the platform. That's why it's a bench test. That's what you're doing. You're benching and you're testing. All right, so I'm going to hit the start button. You're going to be able to see this in the background behind me. And we're going to fire up this bench test right here. This machine's from 2010, so I wouldn't expect it to set the world on fire on a modern day NovaBench test. But heck, if you can get the old girl to go in the top 25 or 30%, I think you'd jump for joy, right? A machine that's 15 years old. Not too shabby, depending on where it scores. And this old girl's a 6-core, and she can hold her own with that Phenom 2 in it. It's not scared of that. You could do some nostalgic gaming with it for sure. I wouldn't use it for any new AAA titles or modern games that are released or nothing like that, but that's not what I'm doing at SimStation anyway. Let's see if some of my regulars come back in. I missed last Thursday night stream. Might have ran them off. I don't know. But we'll see if some of them come in. And we'll let that bench test run out. I had to put something up, though, since I didn't have any live stream last night. And I really don't have this cleaned off because I was doing some stuff to this computer again. Mostly trying to figure out why my Wi-Fi adapter is not working. I do have the Wi-Fi antenna off mine on it, but I don't have both lights on, but yet it's showing up in the device manager. So I think we may have a defective adapter. And the cool thing is I have a little button here that I didn't know what it was for, and it's actually the switch to turn the cold cathode on and off on this thing. So maybe you guys can tell me what what kind of changes you would like to see with this computer. What do I do with it? I mean, it's not going anywhere. This I don't even know if anyone would buy it, honestly. This computer weighs probably 75 pounds put together, so it's not anything you want to move around. And I think the only person that would buy it, somebody like a dedicated PC guy that'll hang on to it, give it the love and the home that it deserves here. And that's basically what's going to happen with it. Possibly on the nostalgic racing rig I build to do the old racing games. I think this possibly, it's competing hard with my Dell XPS. I love the XPS too. Maybe I'll transfer time between the two. You know, because older components, these components age. And when they age, failures are more possible. Capacitors get weaker over time. Gosh, you got to clear my throat out. So capacitors will get weaker over time and stuff like that. It's common, it's normal. So when you're gaming on your old systems pretty regular, if they burn up, that's probably why. Because the stuff aged and it just burned up, right? So we're almost done with this NovaBench test on this thing. I think I showed it on Windows 7, but I didn't show it on Windows 10 on the video. So we're going to run it real quick here. The test is different on the old NovaBench to the new NovaBench like this one. So we went a 928, a 346 on the CPU, 318 on the GPU, 54 on the hard drive, and 210 on the memory. And looking at the report, that's going to put us... This system ranks lower than 37% of all systems tested. And I told you I'd be happy with anything over 30%, right? On a 15-year-old PC. So we did that. I'm happy with that. Well, I'm going to get this thing out of the way, though. We don't need it sitting here because we need to test some stuff. And I normally would have went through this and had everything ready, and I apologize for not having it ready. But I really wasn't even ready for the live stream. So when I started a live stream, I didn't have the camera and nothing hooked up. So I wasn't ready to get this going. But I have two motherboards that I may have picked up when I went up to the Goodwill store. But I'm going to need coolers for it. And I'll find a couple sticks of RAM to put in it. I bought them as is, so I don't know if they're going to work or not. I'm going to have to find somewhere to set this big beast. It is a big beast, and I ain't kidding you guys. You can look at it and see that. This thing is most definitely huge. Most definitely. I'm going to throw some stuff down there, get that USB out. That's got my drivers on it. And I'm going to try to set this thing down. I'm just going to set it down back here for now. This thing is heavy, and I'm not kidding on that. Oof, the mail. Oof. I'm going to put it down there because I don't want to walk through there and trip over cameras or anything. I do have one of the motherboards sitting here. Let's get the camera down here now. So we got one of them sitting here. Right there. See if you can see that. We have a AMD AM3 Plus, and this is an FX 6350 right here. So I got 8 gigs of RAM shoved in it. This RAM's known to work, but I'm not going to shove all the sticks in it at once because it's not all matched. I'm just going to put 2 in it, which is going to give us 4 gigs of RAM, right? And then we're going to see if it works. So we'll put 4 gigs in it here. Well, it'd help if I opened all the things up where the memory would just sit down in there, right? So we're going to go into number 2 and number 4 slot on this little girl. Just like that. And I'm going to have to get us a power supply and a CPU cooler to put on here. And I ain't seen nothing in the live chat yet. I guess I got a bunch of tired people watching tonight. Gotta fire this thing up a little bit. We need a CPU cooler too. I'm fine. Steal it off one of these other AMDs. This has the clip-on points on it. So we can probably definitely theft this one, and you're standing right in my way. But you wouldn't be, but I moved some stuff around, so now you most definitely are. All right, so we got us a power supply. We're gonna need a CPU cooler. I should have another AMD set up around here that has one on it. So let me go over here and see if one of these non-working units has one that we might be able to borrow. I mean, just borrow, not stealing anything, just borrowing it, right? You guys can talk in a live chat. You don't have to be afraid to say something. I do read the live chat, so I'll definitely reply to you. Oh, did I just find maybe an AMD cooler? Boy, that thing is thick as thieves, and I ain't kidding you. That might be the top dog AMD. Yeah, we'll try it. If it looks like it'll work, maybe it'll work, right? I don't know. Got CPU paste on it. Get me a drink there. Get back over here to what we're doing. All right, all right, all right. Let's see if we keep it or junk it. I give $29 for this motherboard as is, with the CPU in it and with 8 gigs of memory in it. So there's your rundown on that. I don't know if I got... Oh, I don't like wasting my good thermal paste here, so we're not going to. We're going to use my terrible thermal paste on it. This stuff. And it makes a terrible mess too, let me tell you that. But it'll keep it cool enough for what we're going to do with it, so that's what we're going to use here tonight. And I'm going to move you back over here so you can... Yep, I get you a little bit dizzy, making you hop up and down there. And let's get us a little thermal paste on there and give her a shot. I got 2 of these boards that I haven't tested yet. This did come from my Tallahassee, Florida trip to the Goodwill Computer Works store. So that trip did happen on my birthday. That was a 250-mile drive up and a 251-mile drive back, probably. I just threw that one in there to make it sound better, but it probably wasn't. I probably just made all that up. We're going to get this stupid thermal paste that looks kind of like toothpaste, which I think it does it smell minty? Let me see if it smells minty. Maybe it is toothpaste. I don't know. We're going to dab it on here and make a hell of a mess, and I ain't kidding you. There we go. That's probably enough where it'll keep it halfway cool, right? I don't know. Man, I think people be tuning in just to see the shit that I do. I mean, I'm the same guy that's got a video on his channel that caught a computer on fire back here. So I'm not afraid to do that even, but I don't plan on doing that tonight. I have an AMD cooler right here, but I have that black one right there, so I don't know which one I use. I'm probably just going to use this black one since it's got a better base on it. Full aluminum base. There we go. So when was the last time you seen a CPU cooler like this one? That's right. Probably been a long time, hasn't it? Don't stick your finger over there. That thing is a mess. But it's strapped on, and that's good enough for where we're headed with this thing. Because we just want to do some testalizing, and we can test any graphics card we want. So I need to walk back over here again because I told you I got scammed on a computer last night. And I'll explain more about that in the video that drops on getting scammed on the computer, because I also made you quite a nice buyer's guide. If you're buying off Marketplace and stuff, what to look out for. But did the Goodwill scam me? I don't know. That's what we're going to find out here. Really, they didn't, because I did buy it as is, and technically Marketplace was the same way. When you buy used stuff off Marketplace, guys and gals, you buy that as is. That's a fact. You can't deny that. You can pretend it and you can get pissed off about it, but you buy it as is. That's just the fact of the matter here, there. I bought it as is, bought the motherboard as is, so if this motherboard don't work, I'm out $29. Plus whatever the sales tax was on it. God only knows what they charge me on sales tax, right? All right, so I need to do something with this because I got this cord, all these cords cabled together here, so we need to undo that. Because we're going to need to split our power cord, and we don't need the DisplayPort cable. We do need the PS2 and the USB. So let me take that to the side. Let me unwrap the USB here. It's kind of wrapped all around that. Etherweb, we don't need internet where we're headed here. We're headed for a post. That's all we want to see, right? If it posts, right? I don't know if this graphics card works either. This is on a computer deal that I got scammed on, that I'm pretty sure that the midget human, not midget, but mini human, we'll call him a mini human. He was a really young man. He may have scammed me last night. Nope, he definitely scammed me. But I got a whole video coming on it, so I won't give too much of that away. I'm just going to tell you I got scammed, and I'm testing some of the pieces from that. One of the main one here being the graphics card. So if it works, at least I got something that worked out of the deal. But if it don't, then I reckon I got scammed on the graphics card too. But that's stupidity and buying on my part, because I broke all my own rules. Guys and gals, you got to have rules when you buy this stuff, and I broke all my rules. I kind of broke it on the motherboard too. I mean, I normally wouldn't go to a Goodwill and, you know, pay $29.95 for this, but it's the cost of having streams to test, right? And it's fun to test it. The story behind it, you know. And then it's fun to fire it up and test it, right? See if it works. See if what we bought works. Don't matter that it's old or that it's an AM3 Plus setup. None of that matters. It matters it's a computer and it's nostalgic. That's what matters. Okay. This is an R9 280X graphics card. So we got all that hooked up. We got our HDMI cable put in there. Power supply's hooked up. Is she going to smoke? On these AM3 Pluses, I stand back when I do that. For damn good reason. Give her those snifferoo. Make sure that you ain't got nothing on fire here. I'm going to tell you guys and gals, it's worth it. All right, so we got our front panel stuff here. We're going to use our genuine start switch right here. And I'm going to find our power switch and short it out. Oh, we got some spinach going on. Will we post? I don't know. I think we got something going on. Oofta. Them fans jumped up to about 10,000 miles an hour. But I got a light on the keyboard, boys and girls. I got really fast fan on the GPU, but I got a keyboard light. Caps lock works, so I think the motherboard posted, but we're not getting a display. Damn, I think I was right. I think the kid got me on the graphics card too. Son of a biscuit. I was hoping at least one thing would be good. Damn it. Oh, it ain't spinning fast no more. But we ain't got no signal, do we? Nope, I was right. I was right about that. I'm pretty sure we done gotten on that one. Did we got taken? Nope, we got gotten. That graphics card ain't no good, buddy. Oh. It goes fast and then it slows down and goes fast again. So maybe the graphics card is going sorting its royal oats out there. If not, I got another card in hand because I am going to test out the post of this. Is my power not fully plugged in? Why does that thing do that? Why is it taking off the graphics card going a million miles an hour and then the fan slowing back down on it? Somebody watching want to tune in the chat and tell me why it's doing that? I mean, it's nice and quiet here, but then it'll just take off and run a million miles an hour. Looks like the power is plugged in correctly. Both of them are. I know the power supply works. So there isn't a problem there, but we got zero display. Let's go ahead and try this again. So let's shut it off. Let's make sure we're seated good in the motherboard here. I mean, I was pretty sure, and you'll see in the video, that I got taken on everything. And you won't believe this video. This is how bad this kid was scamming. And I'm going to make him famous for it. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that to a kid, but karma will bite him in the ass one day. So let's try this again. I just want to see if it will display. I'm pretty sure we got a junk graphics card here, but we're about to find out for sure. I have a caps lock again. So that shows that it's posting, right? If you get the caps lock, the keyboard's responding properly. And we still don't have no display. So we'll give it a second. But if we let it run a little bit here, it'll take off and the fans on the graphics card will spin about a million miles an hour. Dang it, man. I wanted at least one part of that purchase to be good, because if not, then I really got taken. So dang it. And I got stuff all over my keyboard. That's why I hate that thermal paste. I think we might have a good $30 motherboard though. So let's get this piece of shit right here out of the way. I'm not happy about this graphics card. I am not. I mean, we might take it apart and look at it. There's definitely a lot of heat right here that I can feel. But thermal paste ain't going to fix this when it's like it's shorted out down here, to be honest with you. So maybe we can take a look at it and do something with it. I don't know. It's it don't smell burnt though. I don't know. We'll mess with this another day. We ain't got time to mess with it now. So throw it up there with all the other graphics cards I've been scammed on. We'll throw the R9 270 up here. I've tested this one. She's a good one, maybe. Allegedly. Where did my HDMI cable just go? Oh, the mysteries that surround my... All right. Let's go for post round 3. No, 2. What round are we on? I don't know. That one, the fans don't even come on the graphics card. But we have the keyboard flashed, and this graphics card has worked before. So I'm expecting to see something right here. And if I don't, maybe that other graphics card's not bad. Maybe, in fact, there's something wrong with the motherboard. PCI Express slots or something, maybe. Because, I mean, I got a lit keyboard once again, but no display. Oh, mercy. The next one I'm going to test is the one that come out of the nostalgic build, and that's the GTX 580. But I have used this card right here before, and it's worked fine, guys and gals. So I'm going to be the first one to tell you that something isn't right. I think I might have got taken on my 29. I think the Goodwill got me. Dang, man. How did that happen? That's the wrong one of these. I think this is the one I need right here. I'm going to try going from the HDMI to the DVI on this, because I think this might have been the card that I had issues with that. Did I not plug this power in? Did anyone see me plug this 6-pin power in right here? Did I just test this without plugging that cable in? Because if I did, that could very well be the issue. So let's give it one more shot. All right, I heard the fan ramp up for a second. Had a little flash on the keyboard going on down there. Will we display? That is the million-dollar question here. I've had this graphics card work before, so I know it's not a bad graphics card. But I am going to put another one in it that I know works, just to test my theory that it's not a bad graphics card. We are showing caps lock, nums lock on the keyboard, which tells me that once again, the board is posting but has no display, okay? So we need to figure out why we have a board posting with no display. That's the million-dollar question. I have used this graphics card in my Dell XPS and it worked fine. I've never had an issue with this card. So I think it has to be the motherboard at that point, right? Am I right or wrong there? So this GTX 580, you confirm on Tuesday night's video, worked. Will it work here? Because if it does, then we know for a fact that our problem is not graphics cards. I've tested the power supply too, and I actually tested it using both of these power connectors. So this is going in a budget build. But the power supply also comes from the Goodwill. I give $15 for it. It's a Corsair TX650W if you're wanting to know. $14.99, the sticker's still on the power supply. Looking at it right there. I ended up spending $200 there on everything that I bought, and I did end up buying some stuff from there. So it wasn't a wasted trip on my birthday, but I don't think it's a trip I'll make on my birthday again. But if I was driving through Tallahassee, it'd definitely be a place that I stopped into just to check out their inventory and what they have in stock, you know, what kind of deals I might be able to get. Some of the stuff just straight up wasn't a deal. Some of the stuff was. Most of it that was, though, was untested, like the motherboard. So there is that. All right, you see me plug the power into this one. So that graphics card has got the power into it. This one has a mini HDMI, so we have to use the DVI adapter for it, which is fine. Get it plugged all the way in and seated. Graphics card is seated to give it a fighting chance. Will we post? Flash on the keyboard. You'll see it before I do because it'll light up on the capture card. So you'll definitely see a post before I do. All right, so these last two graphics cards I tested, I know are both good. That means the board is not posting. Right? The FX 6350, all the FX series, did not have onboard graphics, so we can't go to the motherboard graphics and test it there. I know where my 1050's at, but I should have a GTX 750 around here too. Although I think I might have stuck it in another one of my builds, dang it. I need a graphics card that don't take a power connector. And I got my 1050 over here, I know I do, so I'll grab it. And the reason why is because we definitely need a graphics card that doesn't take a power connector. Ooh, there went my shin. Gosh dang it. I'll pull it out of something I may or may not have got from the Goodwill that I was testing it in. And I'll set this over here in my way to pull it out, of course. Because that's what you do. Put everything in your way. That's what Sensation makes sure he does. All right, let's get this guy out of here. I'm gonna steal my graphics card back. This was always my test card anyway, I think. I think I tested the 1050 more than the 750, so it's a little card that doesn't take a power adapter, so you can kind of rule out problems with power pins on these things. So we won't need those where we're headed now. We got our good test card. But I suspect I won't see it post even when I do this, because I know these are good cards. The last two, the 270 and that one, are both good cards. And I know this one's a good card. It's my test card. So let's try it again. We don't need no power pin for that one. We're giving this motherboard a fighting chance, I'm telling you. It's posting on the keyboard because I can see it, right? But let's see if it actually posts. I don't see the mouse lighting up. I see the keyboard lighting up, but not the mouse. Well, gosh dang it. All right. The caps lock is working. We got no vidya. So, what do we want to look at here? First thing I'm going to do is just pull some memory out, right? So let's try it with one stick of memory, because we know how finicky that some of these FXs were when it come to this, right? I mean, we could have just a bad motherboard. More than likely it was as is at the Goodwill. And they probably tested it, and they probably had the same issue. They couldn't get it to light up. But we're going to give it a fighting chance. One stick of memory here. Let's see what it does. We're in the first slot, not the second slot. And it's doing some resetting now. I'm not seeing the lights on the keyboard like before. It's just ramping up, slowing down. Yep, ramping up, slowing down. So no lights on the keyboard or nothing. Oh. Now it's really doing it. All right, so it doesn't like that memory. We have confirmed that. So let's shut it off. And I'm going to do something that I got an Intel board to work doing one day. And that was moving this bad boy over to the 4th slot. I don't know why that made a difference, but it did. That latch is definitely busted. We'll pretend like we didn't see that. All right, so we are in slot number 4. We posted on the keyboard. Let's see if we get a display. I'm seeing no display. So we post on the keyboard and I'm seeing no display. We're going to make sure there's no problems with nothing else. Man, I'll tell you what, this is the first stream I've done in a long time where I ain't seen a single chat message. Not one single message in that chat. Is YouTube's chat not working? Did I not turn it on tonight? I'm going to test it real quick because I'm just wondering. Is our chat working? Well, look at that. It's working. So you tell me where you're watching at, what part of the world you're watching from right now. I always like to hear that kind of stuff to start off the conversations here. All right, so this AM3 board right here is not working. It's going to need some further investigating. It's posting, but it's not displaying, okay? And this does not have, the FX series does not have onboard graphics, so you can't tell me we can do onboard graphics. Dan, it's definitely not working. The chat's working, but that board's not. So that was a $30 waste at the Goodwill. It was $30 waste when I bought it, though. Let's be honest with you. Oh, mercy. Why is my power thing stuck in there? Who knows, right? I'm going to take my memory out of it because I know that's good. I have to get my CPU cooler back off of it one day too, I guess. But, I mean, it's kind of a weird issue because we can see that it posts to the motherboard. All right. SureView. Nice. I could plug the speaker in it to hear that. Somewhere I got some speakers laying around here, but I don't know where I've got them at the moment, so I'm not going to waste my time with it. I'm not going to diagnose into them that far tonight because I don't usually have time to go that deep into it unless I'm just doing a dedicated test on the motherboard. So we'll put it to the side until I get around to doing that, and I'll locate a speaker and we'll look for the beep codes on it. But on these old AM3 Plus boards like this, I don't write too much in them. I'll just junk them. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've junked many of these things, and I'll junk this one too. I buy these for content a lot, not to fix or repair them, because honestly, it's not worth wasting your time, even if you got the tools to do it. It's really not worth wasting your time on an old motherboard like that. I'm not going to write it off completely yet. I'm going to get a good known working board for a reason, because maybe it's going to be about testing the power supply out, right? And this is going in our next budget build, I think, anyway. So it's a good one to put up here for that reason. And I want to test that graphics card again. Then I'm pretty sure I got scammed on and the card don't work. I just want to test it, right? So this is a known good working motherboard. This is the 4th gen that come out of the busted PC. And it got soaked with Coca-Cola. And it was doing some funky stuff with the graphics. And a guy let it sit and fixed the guy's PC that got broken and soaked with Coke. And then tested the board again, and it was working fine with graphics. So I got it sitting here with memory in it and all set up, because I figure if it's working fine, then I'm going to put it in another budget build and send it down the road. So I'm going to start with this 280X that I'm pretty sure I got scammed on. This was supposed to be a 5600X, by the way. You'll see in the video what happened, okay? You'll see how that scam went down. I got scammed by a mini human. That's all I'm going to say. You'll have to watch the video to know the rest of it. I was over there and going through the videos. And if anyone tuned in early and caught a glimpse of the video in the background, that's this exact video that I recorded earlier today. Because I just bought this last night off of Marketplace. I bought the whole computer. And let's just say, I think it was a box that someone took all bad parts and put in it. I think I got scammed by a mini human. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to drop it right there. You can watch the video. It's very informative. You know, I'm no stranger to being scammed on stuff. I buy on Marketplace all the time. Coincidentally, I sell on there too. I have people try to scam me on them deals all the time too. So I don't know. If you know what you're doing and what to look for, it's a good place to buy from. But other than that, it's probably not. So here we go. I know that this board works, so if that graphics card don't display now, I can tell you it's junk. Are we going to get a display? Yes, we are. Son of a gun, would you look at that? Well, at least I got a display over there. I'm not seeing it over here yet, but I can tell you that the graphics card's posting, isn't it? So at least all the parts wasn't known bad parts. What the heck? Why is it not displaying here, though? That's odd. It's like my display. What in the shit is going on now? It was working fine on my other computer. Let's get this out of here. Well, I don't know. How about you just... Well, it's displaying on the capture card, but it's not displaying over here. It's working here because this HDMI cable sends it to the capture card. The other HDMI cable is supposed to send it back to the monitor, and it damn sure ain't doing it. So we're going on a investigation here. But in my defense, I have been checking over here to make sure that everything's okay. That's how I know it posted, because I can see it. So I didn't get scammed on the graphics card from the Mini Human, it don't look like, because it does look like that graphics card does post, in fact. So look at that. All is not completely lost. That also shows that our power supply is working too. So this is all I needed to do on this, is just test it, right? If it posts, it posts. That's actually a good sign. I don't see any weird crap on the screen or nothing like that. So that's actually a good sign right there. I'm going to take that as a win, all right? So when you watch the video, when it drops on one of the live streams, you're going to say, that was a win on that graphics card. Oh, man, you can't make this stuff up. All right. So I do have another Intel setup that needs tested that I may or may not got from the Goodwill. I don't know why that wasn't showing up on my monitor, though. That's kind of weird. Let's get this thing unhooked here. Ugh. So I don't want to junk this graphics card just yet, because apparently it works. I think I'm going to put that R9 280X in my nostalgic build. I've got the GTX 1070 in it now, and I wasn't going to leave that in there. But I think I will put the R9 280X in that build. I think it'd be worth it. This board is going to be in a video pretty soon, because it is going in the budget build that I'm working on. And this will be a good video. And there's also going to be a video series coming up. That's going to be another sneak peek. And it's going to involve something cool. You've probably seen other streamers do it, but most of those guys make money from their YouTube channel, and I don't. I'm not a rich guy. All this stuff comes out of my pocket. So when I go buy this stuff for content, it's coming out of my pocket. YouTube's not funding or paying for none of it. I pay for it. That is a fact. So where's my Intel board? We would need the board, and we would then need... Oh, that's right. I stole the CPU out of it for something. I don't know what it was. Dang. I don't remember what I stole the CPU for. Dang it. It was another build that I bought. I'm thinking here. I got the wheels a-turning. Is there another motherboard in here, maybe? Let me see what I got going on in this box of magic over here. Nah. There's nothing there. That's the Ryzen. We know that works. It had a... I think this had an i7 2600 in it. Crap. I did buy something else. And that's what happened to the CPU. But I probably got another second gen somewhere around here. I'm going to look. I told you guys I wasn't prepared for this. Last week I wasn't prepared. I ended up falling asleep, missed the whole damn stream. So we need a 2nd gen Intel. All right. Go through our box of Intels here. That's a 3rd gen. Will 3rd gen work in a 2nd gen board? Somebody comment that. It looks like a Dell, maybe an HP board. It's definitely a factory board here. So I don't know if a 3rd gen will work in it or not. We'll set it to the side just in case it will, right? Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure a 6th gen won't work in it. Definitely a 1st gen 920 1366 isn't going to work. Oh, what else we got? Core i3 6100T, 6th generation, not going to work. Xeon E3 1240 V5, not going to work. Oh, what's this one? 3rd gen i5. I don't know if those will work or not, honestly. Sometimes it had to do with maker. i3 6300T, another 6th gen. A lot of 6th gen CPUs here. 1st gen i5. Pentium G something. Is that a 2nd gen? Probably a 4th gen, honestly. Oh, that's a Core 2 Duo. That definitely ain't gonna work. 1st gen i5. Not gonna cut it. Are you kidding me? 3rd gen i3. Where's the 2nd gens at? Oh. Another 3rd gen. Yet another 3rd gen. And another, is that a Celeron? Pentium. We're about done now. We're about out of CPU choices here, guys. 1st gen i5. And finally, last but not least, 4th gen i4 or i3. Dang it, man. I should have another CPU that'll fit this, though. Just got to remember what I did with it, because I took it out of the computer. It's an i3, I do know that. And it definitely come out of the computer. But that one went in. Never mind, I found it. 2nd gen i3 sitting in my hand. So tragedy averted. I did save the CPU out of the other computer. So we're going to get to try it. I guess let's test another motherboard then. All we need now is a CPU cooler, right? These have notches on the CPU. In case any of you watching don't know, there's a notch on each side. And it's going to line up with notches in the motherboard socket that coordinate with it, okay? So make sure we set that in there nice and flat. And then we're going to torque her down here. Crap. We can just set a CPU cooler on top of it for testing. This has a screw down cooler, and I may or may not have one over here to fit it. I'll check my screw down coolers real quick, but if we don't, then we're still going to test it, right? That's the thing with those proprietary boards that you got to watch out for. That's off of 1366, I know. So I doubt very seriously it'll fit it, but I'll tell you all what, if it don't, I'll just stick one of these flat CPU coolers on it, let it eat, right? If we ain't got nothing to screw down to it, then we'll stick something else on it, period. We're still going to test it. I don't know if this big old boy will work or not. Close, but no dice there. So we're just going to put that flat one on it and let it eat. I'm not scared. We're just testing it for post anyway, right? That's all we're doing here. This one will probably have onboard graphics, I would think. It does. She's an old one. She's got DVI. All right, let's find our stupid thermal paste again. We probably got enough left on here to suffice this. I don't know. We're going to try it and just make a mess doing it. We don't need much on it. We're just testing for post, right? So we'll put a little bit on there, set this flat on top of it. It will post without a cooler on it, just so you guys know. You just don't want to run it long, but you can post that way. We'll test. We'll make it easy. We'll test with the 1050 this time. That's fine. Need to find the CPU power. This one's a 4-pin, not an 8, so we're only going to need half of that. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just test with the onboard. We need memory, right? That's fine. We only got 2 slots, so we'll use 2 sticks in it. 2nd gen Intel is going to take DDR3 memory, in case you didn't know. So we can use the same memory we just tested in the AMD on it. We don't need my Zotac because we have onboard graphics on this. So we are going to need our Adapteroonie here, because we're going to plug into the DVI port on this motherboard. And we have an i3 processor in it. So I bought this board with 8 gigs of memory, okay? And oh no, and no PS2 port. I hate these boards. But we just want to see if it posts, so we don't care what ports it's got or not. We don't need to plug a keyboard in for it. I bought it with an i7 2600 in it. 8 gigs of memory. I know the 2600 works because I put it in a different computer you're going to see a video on. So I can't let too much of that go away. Definitely some bent capacitors. I don't see too many bulging out too bad. Another $20 board. I think I give $19.95 for this one with 8 gigs of memory. I bought it mostly for the 2600 that was in it. All right, so we got no smoke. And we are hooked up. I see the USB. Where's our power? Right there, baby. Oh, that ain't it. That ain't it. There we go. Will we post? It's going to post. Look at that. You can't make that up right there. It posted. So our $20 motherboard just posted. I'm still not getting a display back here, but it worked fine on the big computer. So go imagine that, right? You can't make this stuff up. This one posted, though. I mean, you can see it. What's it say on the screen over there? What's it say on the screen? I can look at it right here. It's got something about the boot down there or something, or probably says no boot device, maybe. I don't know. Let's go check it out. So one of them didn't work and the other one does work. It says boot, F1 boot on it, but we don't have a keyboard hooked up. So look at that. That is a working board. F1 boot right on it. So we got a working either a Dell or HP motherboard. Maybe has built-in Wi-Fi, no antennas on it. I don't know. I don't know what all we got here, but we got a working board, so we'll keep the CPU with it, and who knows what we might be able to do with it someday. It's a working board. So on our Goodwill boards, our $20 Intel board actually works. So it was worth the $20. I figured it was worth that for the CPU alone. because I was able to use the i6 2600, and I knew I needed it at the time too, which made it work out better. The 8 gigs of memory, so I give $20 for that, the 8 gigs of memory, and of course the CPU and the motherboard. So that's it. I mean, we failed the first one, and we hit our $20 gold on the second one. Look at that. We ain't gonna let it run too long because we don't have the right cooler on it, and I barely stuck thermal paste on it, guys. So we are what, 1-1 tonight? One posted, one didn't. Oh, sensation. We'll put this back in the box I got it from. This will stay in the good pile because I know it's a good board now. It posted for us, and that's a good sign. It's a good board. I don't know what we'll use one of these with an i3 for. It probably come out of an old workstation if I had to guess. Let's see what kind it is at least. Product of China. Well, we got that situated, didn't we? I don't know what it is though. IPI SB-CU. I'm going to say it's an HP if I had to guess. I think it's a Hewlett-Packard board, but I don't know. I'm going to put it over here with the other stuff. I do have the scammed motherboard sitting here, but I'm not going to pull that out. That was definitely a scam. I ain't making that up. Let me get you guys and gals back over here at the desktop, because those two boards is all I'm testing tonight. I started the stream late anyway. I'm going to give you all a sneak preview of what's going to go on in the future. So we don't have a ton of people tuned in here tonight, which is fine. I missed last week, so maybe that's the payback for me missing, right? Nobody's going to tune in. I don't think it's any kind of conspiracy. I do want to thank the comments on Tuesday night's video, though. That was one of my best finds ever, in my opinion. I don't think it's my greatest find ever, but it's definitely one of my best finds ever, right? One of my best on the channel. If you look at the content and the videos, I do think that was a really good one. I have a lot of content recorded, thankfully. I've been able to pick up a lot of deals, and I'm kind of sitting on one there because I may or may not have had the 1050 hiding in it, and that's what I had to get it out of. So it's really cool to be sitting on all this content now. And I told you guys I'd give you a sneak peek, and some of it I already did that. But let me go ahead and close our capture card stuff out. I'm going to pull the scam video up. So you'll be able to hear it, obviously, because the desktop audio's on. And I'm going to turn it up a little bit so you can hear it. And maybe I'll put my headset on so I can hear it too. That way it's not too loud for you. You see what I mean? So I get my headset on here. I'm going to give you a sneak peek of what happened to me. So this is the first part of the video, not the actual first part. I want to show you the first part because I was excited. So my hair's a mess. This is like 7:30 at night, and 8 o'clock practice opens for our sim race, our Tuesday night sim race, right? So I want to put you in my mindset there. Let me get to the right picture. Oh, right here. Oh gosh, that's a bad one. But if we hit play right there.
Messy hair and all, end of the day, gotta rush to get a PC so I can race tonight. Is it gonna happen? I don't know. We're gonna get the PC, but will I make my race tonight? Damn, it's dark in here. Flip the light on. There we go. I got my wallet. I gotta get my wife's, got something for my wife, but I want to let you know that I am on the hunt at 7:25 at night. It's about 25 minutes away. I got a $100 bill in my pocket for one hell of a deal on SimStation. You guys are gonna love it. I might put it on our series, Find It, because I found it. I just got to go get it, fix it, and flip it. So here we go, a sensation off to crazy stuff. Let me shut you.
All right, so right there, I give away the series that I'm working on. So that was the first giveaway on that. And I thought this might be good content for that, but that's not what happened. But I want to point out what's wrong with this picture right here. All right, so what did I tell you I was doing? I was going out to pick up a hot marketplace deal, right? My hair's all a mess, and I got a sim race in 30 minutes, literally. So I found this hot marketplace deal, and all this is going on. So most of you have probably already watching this saying, what in the hell was he thinking?
Because I am crunching time, boys and girls, just crunching it. So let me shut you off, and I'll catch you back on in just a few.
All right, so that was the first part of the video unedited. So that lets you know how excited I was to go get this deal, right? But mind you, it's 8 o'clock at night at that point, and I've already got something else going on.
All right,
quickly.
Sensation.
I've already got something else going on quickly, okay? And it's probably not the best time. It's probably not the best time for you to go get something. As I'm going to explain to you this morning when I finally got a look at what I went and bought last night. So let's go ahead and give you a little bit of a sneak peek of this.
The day after our hot marketplace find. That's right. Nope. In all seriousness, I'm going to tell you where this went wrong. Okay. So I broke every rule on buying off a marketplace or Craigslist. And I'm going to tell you why. And I want people to be able to use this as a lesson of what not to do when you're buying on marketplace or you're meeting somebody off a Facebook page or something that you may have bought a computer or we'll take it for anything. So if a deal is too good to be true, guess what, people? It's usually too good to be true, right? So that was the first rule that I broke. The second rule I broke is I got in a hurry that says, I've got to go get it right now. So it was probably 7:20 p.m. last night, literally 7:20 roughly. And I found this deal and I'm like, an i7 with a 5700 XT and 32 gigs of RAM for $100. I don't care if it's missing a hard drive. I don't care if it's missing a power supply. I don't even really care what kind of case it's in at that point, right? So I message them, boom, set up the deal.
Oh, I muted my mic so you couldn't hear me. Here I am. I'm back. That's kind of I got it back, Dan. No worries, buddy. That was a little bit of a sneak preview of the scam video. And you seen how excited I was though on night one, right? I was enthusiastic. But the biggest mistake I made is don't buy anything when you're in a rush. Period. Take your time, educate yourself, do your homework, okay? Ask questions even. Don't blindly do what I did. That's your warning. That should be your first warning, is not to blindly do what I did. Because it was ignorant, reckless, and I paid the price for it. That's all I'm going to say on that. When you watch the video entirely, you'll be able to see the whole thing and the whole story, right? It not what I'm telling you here, the little bit that you're seeing, that's not the entire story. It involved a mini human. It involved me being in a hurry and me basically picking up this case, giving the kid $100, throwing it in the back of my car and not looking at it till this morning. Sorry, but that's what happened. Never do that. That's not what you ever want to do, okay? What is that for? What is the engage button? I don't need to do that. It says engage with your audience. I'm already engaged with my audience, right? I thought that's what I was doing. So we tested 2 motherboards tonight. You got to take a look at the Nostalgic PC first off. It was hooked up. We tested 2 motherboards. One worked halfway, but wouldn't display for us. The other one worked perfectly, actually. The funny part's the one that I didn't think would worked because basically it's an Intel board. And the AMD AM3, I'm like maybe 2 for 20 on those lately. 2 for 20. 2 of them work, 20 of them don't. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I used to make all those boards work, and I gamed with them for years because they were cheap. That was the budget gaming setup, right? The AMDs were cheap, and it was the budget gaming setup. But now, now that I've gotten a little bit older, I can't make them things worth a shit no more. I can't. The Nostalgic build was something different. I literally fell in love with that thing when I bought it, and come hell or high water, fellers, I was going to make that PC work, and that's a fact. And it did, and it worked out great for the video. I have played with that thing for over a week testing it. Literally over a week tested it, right? And I love that computer. I daily drove Windows 7 for the first time in about 5 or 6 years for over a week on that thing. Daily driver, and I planned on doing last Thursday's live stream on it, and I probably could have if I hadn't fallen asleep. That's the honest to God's truth. I was going to set it up at about 6 p.m. because my wife was out of town. So I thought I'd set it up a little earlier, where it didn't interfere with dinner, because let's face it, guys, we don't take care of ourselves as well when the women's not around, right? We'll eat junk food and you name it, and we'll gorge out on stuff over time, so we don't need to make dinner or nothing. You know how it is. So that kind of happened, and I may have allegedly been watching YouTube or TV, watching the TV in general, and I fell asleep. So I completely missed it, and I apologize for that. And I was going to put one up on Friday, and you know the rest. You were going to, but you didn't. I've been super busy around here. I got pissed off, tripped over some stuff, cleared a bunch of boxes out of here, and now it set me on a mission. So things is still a little disarray, but there is a method to the madness now because I'm cleaning a lot of this up. I need to have room to work. I need to have stuff better organized, and I don't need to be tripping over this stuff, guys. So I'm going to keep working on that. You're going to keep seeing videos all over my house, probably. That's just how it's going to happen, the dining room table. Which coincidentally, you've seen videos with it out in my shop when I had the dining room table out of the shop with stuff on it. So now that table is in my dining room. I did tell you that my wife bought that to go in our dining room, and it's in there now. And now you see me do stuff on it in the house. That's the best part about it. It's like I moved my workbench inside, right? But it's not. But I'm going to change some stuff around. One of the things that you've seen on the video that kind of give away a precursor that I really didn't want to slip out was the Find It, Fix It, and Flip It. That is going to be the series that I'm actually working on of videos. So I am going to tell you that on the live stream. If any of you guys are still tuned into it, I am going to do a series on that. And here's why. My iRacing rig is, how could I put it? Let me tell you what happened to me. And let's back up to last week and then this week. So our racing season for WFO Racing League started officially this week. So Tuesday night, Xfinity, last night, trucks. And we were at Daytona. So let me back you up to the week before where we were running our last recruitment race before the season started. So this was last week, literally. Not this week, but last week. So I had the second rig here set up, and I may have even had it set up in that video. I had the second rig with the Turtle Beach set up, and I did testing on it with the Alienware Aurora R7, which is sitting next to me, on Tuesday night, and I got into the race, and everything was practice. I set the fastest time, I believe, and everything was going great, right? I sat on the pole. Well, no. That was last night, so we'll back it up. All right, so this was last week. About 4 laps or 5 laps into the race, the Oculus went in spasmodic mode, and it just started glitching real bad, like it was season and coming to and season and coming to. And when I got out of the computer to look, the whole computer was locked up. So the whole Alienware was locked up. I noticed temperature spikes in the CPU fan running at about 110%. So I figured thermal throttling. If you remember, that had the 120 millimeter liquid cooler in it. It doesn't anymore because I immediately run into a problem and threw the kitchen sink at it to make it cool right, and I thought it was an overheating issue. So let's go to this week in the first race of the season. Against my better judgment and using my normal rig, I decided to use that Turtle Beach rig on Tuesday night. Mind you, I tested it for hours before that. So we opened the season up this Tuesday night, and I got on the Turtle Beach rig, and I felt confident. I qualified P1. This opened the season up. I'm sitting in a good place at Daytona. I start on the pole. I led a bunch of laps. I run over half the race, and my Oculus and computer did the same thing. So I was angry, and I shut it down, and I reset everything, right? Did a restart on the computer, reset everything, go back in. Oculus is working not fine. It's still a little jumpy. But then my wheel just randomly disconnects, and I hit the wall, and that takes me out of the race completely, and I finish 30th and get crappy points, okay? So by this point, I'm so mad at the Alienware Aurora R7, I just want to trash it. But the whole reason I had that R7 set up and was testing is because you're going to know about it soon enough. My 12th gen i5 over there, or whatever that is, that 12th gen Intel with the 6700 XT, that computer's getting sold because I'm going to do a series on here called Find It, Fix It, Flip It. And on that series, I'm going to find it, fix it, and flip it. And I may have already done an episode or two of that, okay? And I'm going to build the profit up, do trading around, and I'm going to build a top-tier system for our iRacing setup. So that was my goal, to kind of fund this thing. And I wanted to be able to go ahead and sell this, break this rig down. And that rig's old. I built that years ago. So I kind of want to do some updating and some rebuilding on it, So I need time. I can't have seasons kicking off and needing to be able to race, but that rig is Mr. Reliable. I jumped on that on Wednesday night, didn't have a hiccup at all, ran well in the trucks last night, and my diehard system went perfectly, right? So I racked my brain on what's going on with the Alienware. It is an Aurora R7 with an i7 8700 in it, right? It's got 64 gigs of RAM and an RTX 2080 Super. So you tell me that that's not capable of running iRacing with VR? it's very capable of it. There's no doubt about it. So I think I may have created my own problems with that computer, and that's why I brought you to this story. I had both the steering wheel and the Oculus plugged into the two USB 3.0 ports in the front, and I think I overloaded those ports. If you've been listening to the story, put it in the chat. Do you think I did that? I think I did. I think I overloaded those USB ports running the steering wheel and pedals, which all plug in as one unit, and running the Oculus on top of that, because I use the direct link. I don't use the Air Link. I use the direct link, so it goes into the USB. So I think I was pulling too much power from the USB 3.0 in the front, and that it was limiting power. It was cutting power to each one of those, and that's what caused my wheel disconnect, and it's what caused my Oculus to flake out. So I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I don't know. The only thing I can do is test it further to find out for sure, right? And I hate to do that in a points race, because I already did that Tuesday night and it bit me square in the ass. So you did find out about the Find It, Fix It, Flip It. That will be a series of videos. I don't know how many it'll take to get us to a top tier PC, but I thought that would be a good one that I could say, okay, I started with a budget of this much, and this is how much we made, how many PCs we had to flip, and what took us up to this tier money. So I'm working on that now. The first PC I bought is still for sale, but it is listed for sale. So that's a good thing. That video is done. I'll probably wait and drop all those after I build up and I build the new PC. So we'll see about that. I may sell this one. I'm going to sell this one, and I may use funds from it to go with that to build it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there exactly yet, but I think that might happen. I don't know what I'm going to ask for this. I'm going to put a different set of ecosystem in for the fans on it. That way the RGB works good on it again. And that is a solid computer. But I can't part with it just yet, because that rig's my diehard setup over there. I'm running an Oculus CV1. I have a Moza R5 direct drive steering wheel, and I've got my better gaming computer set up there. So that's the plans on that. So you're going to see videos on that. I do have a video on the Goodwill that I said I would do, and I'm going to have a few on that, because I may or may not found their online shopping, and maybe I found some computers on there too. Don't do what I do, because you're just going to wind up in trouble. Let me go ahead and pull up the website right here. Goodwill. I'm just going to show you what I found. This is what I found online. You can't make this stuff up. Let me go back to that screen. There we go. Oh, what are we watching here? Donors, shoppers, give dollars, locate Goodwill. Shop online, shopgoodwill.com. There you go. This is in case you haven't been here and you're watching the live stream. I'm just going to show you something right here. Categories: computers and electronics, computers, desktops. And there you go. There's a gaming PC right there. Ryzen 5 7600X, 32 gigs of RAM with a RX 7800 XT. And this is an auction format. The current price on it's at $1,000. So this is the kind of stuff that you actually find on the Goodwill website. And you can see stuff like this in their stores too. So I may or may not, I might have got on here and did some stuff, but they got old workstations on here. Look at the old Cooler Master setup. I have one or two of these cases, right? That's the Cooler Master Hoff case right there. You got to love that. That's a complete build too. You can see the USB 3.0 in it. Graphics card, power supply. So that's definitely a complete build right there. Ends in 47 minutes at $15. I mean, come on, guys. You see what I mean? Shipping to me. Oh, I'm not signed in, so put in my postal code here just to get a rough idea. Oh, $40 ground shipping to me right there. So it cost me $55 for it. And what did it say anything about what it was? No, it just says this item powers on. Condition's good, but it don't tell you what the specs are on it. You see what I mean? You can buy them cheaper when they're untested. That's a fact. So I'm going to get off of that stuff because I'm going to end the stream tonight. I do want to appreciate, we didn't have a ton of people stop in, but I want to thank each and every one of you that did. Where's my live stream info at? Dan, thanks for commenting, buddy. Mortimus, thank you. Awesome to have you guys in the stream tonight. We'll get back at it next Thursday. I'll try to be a little more organized to start it. That's the other thing. Thursday live streams are going to change. I'm not going to live stream every Thursday from now on. When I'm editing the video and I'm back in a racing season, it just gets too busy to continue that. So probably every other Thursday. And I think on the every other Thursday that one of those Thursdays are going to be a members only stream. So I might start looking at doing it that way. I thank each and every one of you for the support on the YouTube channel, watching the videos, the likes and the comments, because it helps the algorithm. And I finally seen Tuesday night's videos start to look like some of my older ones, where it kind of took off and it gained traction. We gained subscribers. Thank you so much for that. That's what it's all about. I want to grow the channel. The more I grow the channel, the more I can do, right? Now I'm kind of limited, but the more I grow with it, the more I can do with it. So I do have stuff coming from a subscriber. I don't know when it'll be here, but there's stuff coming. I had another subscriber reach out to me that actually lives in Florida that's got a ton of stuff. I mean, a ton of it. So things are in the works. Things are in the works, but I have a lot of content. I still have a lot of content to record. And then I need to start flipping stuff out the door. The cleanup's going to continue around here until I get this organized the way I want it. And that's just how it's going to work. But thank you guys for tuning in. Tuesday night, 6 p.m. Eastern time is a regular upload video drop. So make sure you check those out. Give it a like, give it a comment. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. That's going to do it for the live stream, though. I'm going to say we're 1 for 1 tonight on the motherboards. We didn't go a perfect 2-0, but let's say we're 1.5 and a half. No, we're 1 and 1. We didn't get one to post and we got the other one to post, and you've seen it. That's what matters. So that's it. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next live stream. Thank you. Oh, that's not going to shut nothing off.